Good evening. I'm Stuart Rader. I'm president of the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation. And on behalf of the Board of Governors, I want to welcome everybody to this event. We're expecting a big night, and I hope everybody is in a good mood. A year ago, I stood on this same stage, and I talked about the new pillar wall. And we had a plan of putting out a new decoration for the pillars, and we did it. And I hope everybody's gone and seen it. It's in the Hall of Fame if you haven't seen it before. It's fabulous looking, and we just want to tell you that it shows the rich historic values of Jewish sports. At the same time, as we enjoy the evening, it's appropriate that we remember some of the people that are not with us tonight. So I want to acknowledge Willie Stone, a 2003 Hall of Fame inductee, Charlie Sanders, the 2013 Alvin Foon Award winner, and my father, who's not with us tonight. He passed away this last year, but was the biggest fan of mine and the biggest fan of this organization. The Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation greatly appreciates the continued support of our sponsors and all the individuals that have contributed. During dinner, their names were on the board, and hopefully you will look through the books that you've been given. And it, first of all, tells the rich Jewish history of Detroit sports. And secondly, it has all of our sponsors in there, and hopefully you will patronize these people who have helped us. I want to make a special thank you to Vinnie Johnson and the Pistons Group, the Detroit Pistons, and the Palace Entertainment, the Minkin Family Foundation, and Health Systems. Now, along with being president of the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation, I am also the head of the Welcoming Committee. And we have this year a new member to our community. This past June, Arn Tellem became the vice chairman of Palace Sports and Entertainment with the purpose of helping to run the Detroit Pistons. Arn is one of the most accomplished and respected sports executives in the world, best known for his top representation of basketball players and baseball players. He was vice chairman of the Wasserman Media Group, a global sports entertainment marketing agency. He graduated from Haverford College and from the University of Michigan Law School. He began his career as an attorney in the law firm known as Mannett, Phelps, Rothenberg, and Tunney, where his mentors were attorneys Alan Rothenberg and Steve Greenberg. Arn specializes in sports law and commercial litigation and became a partner in the firm. In a recent interview, Arn was quoted as saying, "When owner Tom Gores offered me the job, I was at first stunned and then flattered. Part of me thought, I can't possibly accept. I'm responsible for helping to guide the career of scores of pro basketball players and baseball players. But I grew pensive when I remembered something a friend once told me, that making a difference in the community gives you a deeper sense of purpose." On behalf of the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation, I'd like to welcome Arn Tellem to the community. Arn, would you come on up and say a few words to us?
Thank you. I have to say first, this is one of the nicest Jewish community centers I've ever been to, and I've seen a lot throughout the United States. Tonight, I'm celebrating my 6-week anniversary moving from Los Angeles to Detroit. My friends in LA, where the temperature topped 100 degrees last week, think I'm crazy. They still ask why. What made you do it? I had a pretty good life. I represented many of the top athletes in pro basketball, baseball, and golf. I golfed a couple days a week at Brentwood and at Riviera. I sushied early and often. I enjoyed a beach house near Santa Barbara, which I'll miss plenty come January through March. So what made me do it? A midlife crisis? So I got to thinking, it had to be my Jewish upbringing in Philadelphia. No one in my family is ever happy or satisfied. As Woody Allen put it in Annie Hall, there's an old joke. There were two elderly women at a Catskills mountain resort, and one of them says, "Boy, the food at this place is really terrible." And the other one says, "Yeah, I know, and such small portions." And Woody went on to say, "Well, that's essentially how I feel about life, full of misery and suffering and unhappiness, and it's all over much too soon." So for me, it goes back to what I learned from my immigrant grandparents many years ago, that life was not easy or not about happiness. But I'm ecstatic to be here in Detroit. We're all here to make a difference and find meaning. It makes no difference how smart you are or how talented or how accomplished an athlete, though none of those necessarily work against you. But in the end, talent does not count as much as perseverance and application, industry, resilience, will, desire, and desire, and desire. And what's most important in life is your character and the mark you leave. So when Tom Gores asked me to be part of ownership and help oversee the Palace and the Pistons and guide their involvement in the community, I couldn't turn the opportunity down. I was affected by Tom's personal story. A Lebanese family moves to Flint in search of a better life. Starting in the family garage, young Tom builds one of the most successful private equity firms. I was taken by the similarities between his Lebanese heritage and mine. In fact, I realized we're all part of the same tribe. The first time Tom's mom laid eyes on me, she grabbed my arm and she pulled me close and she whispered, "Don't let anyone mess with my son." Only she didn't say mess. Anyway, Tom's love of family, the words and gestures, reminded me of my own family's get-togethers. I speak from the heart when I say there's no more committed team owner than Tom. He wants to win, and to that end will spare no expense. He also wants to do right by Detroit and the greater metropolitan area, and we will. I can't promise the winning, though. As an agent, I enjoyed representing players and making a difference in their lives. This opportunity afforded me a chance to make a difference, a greater difference. Like Tom, I view the Pistons as a community asset that can inspire and unify us. And from the moment I walked into the Palace, I felt and was inspired by the spirit of working together for the common good that suffuses every government, business, and civic freedom. Detroit and its rich history reminds me of my hometown, Philadelphia. Beautiful suburbs, great universities, outstanding hospitals. Just like Philadelphia, Detroit loves its teams. They just don't boo as much. And like Philly, it has a wonderful, strong, philanthropic Jewish community that continues to make meaningful contributions to the city and to Israel. Since coming to Detroit 6 weeks ago, I've been welcomed by all and treated as family by the Jewish community. I'd like to thank you for your generosity and encouragement. I didn't think I needed any more Jewish friends, but boy, I was wrong. My childhood hero was Tigers great Hank Greenberg. After graduating from law school at Michigan, I joined a law firm in Los Angeles and became a very close friend of Hank's son, Steve, who was a lawyer there. Steve became not only my partner, but my mentor in life. Through Steve, I got to know Hank and often lunched and played tennis with him at the Beverly Hills Tennis Club. Hank would regale me with tales of how in 1934, led by his .339 batting average, the Tigers jumped from 5th place in the American League into the battle for the pennant. Never before had a Jewish player filled such a significant role for a major league team. And for the first time, Greenberg and Jewish baseball fans all over the country faced a dilemma. September 10th was Rosh Hashanah, and the Tigers, who led the league by 4 games in the standings, were playing the Red Sox. Fans and rabbis debated whether Greenberg, who by his accomplishments was winning acceptance for Jews among non-Jewish Americans, should play on the high holy days. In the end, Greenberg came up with his own compromise. He played on Rosh Hashanah and hit 2 home runs that won the game, 2-1. 10 days later, he spent Yom Kippur in Shaarei Zedek. Whenever he told the story, He laughed when he mentioned the standing ovation he got upon entering the shul. Tonight, I'd like to honor Vinnie Johnson, a Piston I would have been proud to represent. Vinnie was a 6'1" guard who used muscle and brawn to get any shot he wanted. Many knew him as the Brooklyn Bridge because he leaned into shots. In 007, after hitting a series clinching jump shot with 0.7 seconds remaining when the Pistons clinched the 1990 NBA title. Others knew him as Microwave because he could heat up quickly. Vinny, no pressure. I'm here to offer you a contract. That's the real reason I'm here. Things haven't changed. The Pistons still need someone to come off the bench and light it up. As an agent, I knew and regarded Bill Davidson as one of the great owners in all of sports. He treated his players like his children and built one of the most respected franchises in all of sports. In his own quiet and humble way, he was one of this country's greatest philanthropists. It is an honor to, in a very small way, to carry on his legacy. And for me, it's been particularly meaningful to get to know Karen, Ethan, and Gretchen Davidson. They've welcomed me like family too. I look forward to being integral to Detroit's Jewish community and doing my part. Finally, tonight, on a personal note, I do honor Hank's memory and what he meant to my grandparents and my family. That's why I'm thrilled to be here in Detroit and to be part of this special ceremony. We all must remember where we came from. 70 years ago, when Hank returned from war, 1/3 of our people had been killed, and another third were homeless. Tonight, we remember the sacrifices of our grandparents and parents who inspire the incredible accomplishments we continue to achieve and celebrate tonight. Congratulations to all the honorees and their families. Thank you.
Arn, I want to thank you for those beautiful words, and I want you to know that maybe we don't lose like Philadelphia, but when you make us a winner, you will see crowds like you've never seen. We're very good at that. So for some of you, this may be your first time to the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame induction dinner. And for others, it may be the 31st, because we're 31 years strong. And so I thought the best way to let you know who we are is with a short video.
Generosity, character, athletic, philanthropic, cancer, Jewish, sports, kids, raising money and giving it to others in need. In 1984, these were the principles that Alvin Foon used to come up with the idea behind the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation. Alvin's passion for sports, caring for others, was infectious, especially amongst his friends. It didn't take long before 5 of his friends, Seymour Broad, Mickey Fishman, Billy Jacobs, Myron Milgram, and Robert Steinberg got on board. And together they worked tirelessly to build a small, vibrant organization called the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame, created to both honor Jewish individuals who have distinguished themselves as athletes within the state of Michigan and to foster Jewish identity through athletics. The name was changed in 1998 to the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation to represent the growth of the organization and encompass the full spectrum of sponsored events in the community. Through the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation's annual fundraising initiatives and yearly charitable contributions due to the generosity of many individual donors, corporate sponsors, and family foundations here in Michigan and across the country, little did these 6 men realize that the organization they were starting would develop into one of the Detroit Jewish community's most successful philanthropic foundations. The Hank Greenberg Memorial Golf Invitational, with the unfailing support of Hank's son Steve Greenberg, has brought an incomparable succession of baseball all-stars to Metro Detroit to play golf and mingle with their fans. With great food and stars galore, this premier event is a can't-miss highlight of the summer, with proceeds benefiting the Lawrence and Idell Weisberg Cancer Treatment Center, Karmanos. The Hall of Fame induction dinner truly exemplifies the original goal of our founders, as athletes from Michigan or with a Michigan connection are honored for their achievements. The Hall of Fame, housed in the JCC in West Bloomfield, features walls and walls of plaques of sports notables honoring the Hall of Fame inductees, Alvin Foon recipients, the Pillars of Excellence, Jewish News High School Athlete of the Year, and additional academic scholarship winners. When you give, the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation has been able to donate over $1 million to help battle cancer through contributions to the Barbara Ann Karmanos Cancer Institute that supports technological innovations at the Lawrence and Idell Weisberg Cancer Center in West Bloomfield and other cancer charities. $100,000 to the Karmanos Genetic Counseling Service, an important initiative that provides genetic counseling and screening for anyone concerned about their risk of developing cancer. The Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation, in partnership with the Jewish News, has supported the Jewish News High School Athletes of the Year and other college scholarship programs. Since 1984, the foundation has supported sending thousands of special needs and underprivileged children to camp and sponsored and supported the Maccabi Games and other Jewish youth programming at the JCC and around Metro Detroit. A Hall of Fame and Foundation, annually raising money and giving it to others in need, helping those with cancer, assisting kids with college scholarships, bringing famous athletes to the area. What a legacy for 6 men who took a simple idea and with hard work and care has grown into a major accomplishment. 6 men whose collective vision has left an enduring mark on our Jewish community, not just for now, but for as long as there are men and women, boys and girls, who eagerly and boldly compete on their fields of dreams.
Good evening. I'm David Blatt. I'm Executive Director of Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation. As the video states, it's quite a legacy of our founders have created. The Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation has been a proud sponsor of the JCC, Maccabi Games, and Art Fest, founding members of Kids Kicking Cancer, supporters of the Bear Hug Foundation, partners in the JC Kids community programs, and many other organizations, with all the support also of the Idell and Larry Weisberg Cancer Treatment Center, Karmanos. The Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation is committed to honoring Jewish individuals connected in the state of Michigan who have distinguished themselves in sports and fostered Jewish identity through athletics. As we continue to honor the past and foster Jewish identity through athletics, we intend to build upon the foundation through our expanded, innovative high school scholarship program. It's called the Stars of Tomorrow. These scholarships will be awarded to graduating seniors based on athletics, academics, and needs. Your generous donations through the year will enable us to ensure and expand and keep the existence of Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation, perpetuate and maintain the Hall of Fame, and continue our charitable giving to Cancer and Stars of Tomorrow. Envelopes are available, information's on our website, and it's in the journal tonight that you'll be receiving. Join us for the 26th Greenberg Memorial Golf Invitational on June 13th at Franklin Hills Country Club, where the proceeds benefit the Lawrence and Idell Weisberg Cancer Karmanos. And now, I'd like to thank all of you for coming. I'd like to present Michael Stoney Stone, co-host of Stoney and Bill, 97.1 The Ticket, as our master of ceremonies this evening. Stoney.
Thank you. Thank you very much, David. I guess this is the night where all suburban Philadelphians shine. Arn, welcome to the club.
And there are a few things that are different as I've been here almost 30 years. They'll tell you that we talk funny. We drink water. We wash ourselves with towels. We put gas in the car. Okay, we're funny. But we don't go to the bank with our friend Gary and get some cash either. Since last year, things have changed a little bit on the Detroit sports scene. This time last year, Tigers were out, but they won the division. And who knew that somebody would have the great foresight of planning this event during Game 4 of the American League Championship Series that we wouldn't have to worry about. By the way, the Royals are winning 12-2. Our professional football team was actually pretty good last year. Now, well, you know how it is. And Arn, at least the Eagles have been to 2 Super Bowls without winning any. The Pistons are the Pistons. Hopefully they can make the playoffs this year. It's still a work in progress. The Wings are doing what they're doing. They'll probably make the playoffs again. And at this time last year, the Messiah was in San Francisco and there was no punter from Australia effing up for Michigan fans and making life great for Spartan fans. All right, go ahead. The Green can cheer now. Go ahead. All right. Good evening, and welcome to the 31st Annual Hall of Fame induction dinner. The Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation and its Hall of Fame has an illustrious tradition, and as always, it's my pleasure to be tonight's Master of Ceremonies. There is no better way to begin the evening than looking at the outstanding achievement of these 3 young athletes. As we commemorate the past, it is wonderful to celebrate the future, and to do that, I am pleased to introduce Arthur Horowitz, President of Renaissance Media, who will present the 2015 Detroit Jewish News High School Athletes of the Year.
Thank you, Stoney, and good evening. Arn, welcome. We're thrilled that you're here. Actually, we've been doing this since 1991, which means this is the 25th anniversary of the Jewish News High School Athletes of the Year. Thank you. And our 3 honorees this evening will be joining 59 previous honorees in that illustrious group. And actually on page 34 of your program book, you'll see a list of all of the honorees. One of the things that we really enjoy is so much of what we do here is about people who've achieved over their lifetimes. Wonderful sports records, pillars of our community, pillars of our sports community. And this gives us an opportunity to look at future pillars, future leaders, not just on the athletic field, but in the classroom, etc. So again, as you look, if you have a chance to look on page 34, you will see names, including some who have gone on to become inductees in the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. So with that, what I would like to do is go to the video, and we're going to learn a little bit more about our 3 honorees, and then they're going to come up here. We're going to give them a little plaque, and they're actually going to have an opportunity to say a word or two, and then we go back to Stoney and the meat of the program. So with that, thank you.
The Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation has established several programs aimed at recognizing the accomplishments of exceptional high school athletes both on and off the field. In a joint endeavor with the Jewish News, we honor these athletes. Jewish News High School Female Athlete of the Year, Emily Fisher. Emily is a graduate of Detroit Country Day School. She was a 4-year starter on the Detroit Country Day varsity soccer team, leading her team to 2 state championship games and serving as captain her senior year. Additionally, she was a 3-year member of the high school varsity dance team. Emily is a member of Phi Beta Kappa and the Cum Laude Societies. A National Scholar Athletics student, she graduated magna cum laude and served as Student Council Vice President and President of the Community Service Club. Emily is attending the University of Michigan. Jewish News High School Male Athlete of the Year, Griffin Mertz. Griffin Mertz began playing tennis at age 8 and first played competitively at 10. As a United States Tennis Association player, he is ranked 8th in the state of Michigan and top 50 in the Midwest. Griffin was a 4-year varsity player at North Farmington High School and played the #1 singles spot for 3 years. Griffin is a 4-time regional winner, named All-State First Team 3 years in a row, earned All-League, All-Metro, and All-County honors. As the team captain, he helped his team win 2 regional championships, earning an appearance at the state finals. As a scholar athlete and National Honor Society member, Griffin graduated with top honors. He currently plays varsity tennis at University of Detroit Mercy, where he is enrolled in the 5-year MBA program. Jewish News High School Male Athlete of the Year, Jonathan Radner. Jonathan Radner was a 4-year varsity player for the Berkeley High School basketball team, serving as team captain his senior year, MVP of his team, and All-League. He was a member of the Detroit Maccabi U14 team coached by Barry Burchad, winning a gold medal in 2011. In the off-season, Jonathan traveled all over the country with various AAU teams. In addition to basketball, Jonathan was a 4-year varsity tennis player and a 3-year Oakland Activities Association Scholar Athlete. Jonathan was a member of National Honors and won an Academic Excellence Award from Berkeley High School. Jonathan attends Syracuse University, where he is a member of the varsity basketball team. Congratulations to this year's Jewish News athletes, Emily Fisher, Griffin Mertz, and Jonathan Radner.
Great. If I could please ask Emily Fisher, Griffin Mertz, and Beth Radner, who'll be accepting for her son Jonathan, to come up here, and I'm happy to give you something that commemorates this evening, and also to give you a few seconds at the microphone, too.
Good evening. Thank you very much for granting me this amazing honor. However, I would not be here today if it were not for my supportive family and coaches. My dad, who suffered through many frigid soccer games, started my passion for soccer by signing me up for my first team. Over the years, he acted as my chauffeur, driving me to all my soccer games, both near and far. He would not miss a single game without encouraging me to play hard and have fun. He was that embarrassing soccer dad, dressed up in my number and yelling, "Go number 21," every time I got the ball. Although not the typical soccer mom, my other unrelenting cheerleader inspired me throughout my athletic career, since she would never miss a dance performance or soccer game, always with a book in hand. Additionally, my Detroit Country Day and Bloomfield Forest soccer coaches taught me valuable strategies and approaches to the game. Again, thank you very much for this special honor, which I greatly appreciate.
Good evening. Unlike Emily, I don't have a prepared speech, but so I'll just wing it as good as I can. I'd just like to thank everyone in my life that helped me get to this point. Without them, I couldn't get here or attend the college that I am and play the sport that I love to play. And I'd like to apologize for my voice. It was a rough weekend. That's about it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Beth Radner, Jonathan's mom, and I'm representing him this evening since he's away at Syracuse University playing on the basketball team. He is appreciative and honored to receive this award. Jonathan loves being a part of this Jewish community in Detroit and is proud to be here and call it home. He's also enjoyed being a part of the Maccabi games with his Detroit teammates. There is no way Jonathan could have made it to the level of play without such a supportive community, coaches, family, and friends, many of whom are here this evening. He is truly fortunate to receive this honor and be part of this warm-hearted and generous community. Many thanks.
Thank you all. Thank you, honorees. Brian Masterman, you want to get a shot of these folks, and then we'll move on. Thanks.
Congratulations. I do want to point out there are two people here tonight who we are just very thankful that are here tonight. So can I have a special round of applause for Steve Rosen and Harry Glanz? Love you, H-Man. All right. Tonight's Pillars of Excellence recipients have coached, taught, and mentored the youth of our community. The Pillars of Excellence plaques hang in a brand new area of the Hall of Fame, and we look forward to watching this list of honorees grow each year.
Pillars of Excellence Award was established to honor lifetime achievement and outstanding contributions to athletics and the enrichment of the community. This year, we honor all the pillars with a brand new area in the Hall of Fame with a Pillar of Excellence Wall of Honor. Steve Bernstein grew up in Northwest Detroit and attended Mumford High School, Wayne State University, and Detroit College of Law. Steve was passionate about sports from his earliest memory. Steve attributes his advancement in officiating to accepting every assignment. In addition to being mentored by established officials, he credits 2 camps headed by former Big Ten official Phil Bova as pivotal in his career. Steve was fortunate to be mentored by his cousin, Al Fruin, a 2007 Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame inductee, and the late Will Robinson, a 1995 Alvin F. Foon humanitarian recipient. Steve's high school officiating career included regular season, holiday tournaments, league playoffs, and championship games in most area conferences. His college career included NCAA, NAIA, and NJCAA regular season, holiday, and postseason tournament games. After retiring as an official, Steve was an assistant coach under Howard Golding, Pillar of Excellence 2012, at Oak Park High School and Maccabi Detroit, and also coached at Isaiah Thomas basketball camps. He's a member of the advisory board for the Detroit Sports Zone Incorporated, founded by former Harlem Globetrotter Ernie Wagner to promote sports and literacy programs for inner-city children and adults. Steve's awards include the Award of Appreciation from the Motor City Youth Initiative, helping to sponsor basketball leagues and train prospective officials, the Hillel Hero Award from Michigan State University Hillel, which established a fund in his name to support intramural sports programs, and the recipient of the highest award from A.E. Pi, the Order of the Lion. A native Detroiter, Robert Gershman, graduated from Henry Ford High School and went on to attend Wayne State University, receiving a bachelor's degree in education and a master's degree in physical education. Bob began his career in the Berkeley School District as a physical education teacher and coach at the elementary and junior high school levels. In 1985, Bob became the Berkeley School District Director of Health and Physical Education and served as athletic director for 22 years. Bob taught leadership training classes and served as a mentor in the MHSAA Mentor Program for new athletic directors and was instrumental in the development of the Oakland Activities Association for Athletics. After retirement from Berkeley School District in 2007, he continued his work in athletics as a sales representative for Daktronics Incorporated, a manufacturer of scoreboards and video display equipment. Bob retired in 2012. Bob enjoys golfing and being a Detroit Tigers season ticket holder. He has 2 daughters and lives in Oak Park with his wife Robin and their cockapoo Lexi. Irvin Horowitz was born in Oklahoma City, attending Central State College in Edmond, Oklahoma. He participated in sports and always wanted to be a teacher and coach. With one phone call from his old high school football coach about an opening in Michigan to teach, Irv would spend the next 40 years teaching and coaching in Michigan. Irv met his wife Barbara at East Junior High School, where they both were teaching. During Irv's career as a football, wrestling, and baseball coach, he was at Birmingham Groves, Harrison High School, and North Farmington High School. Irv was named North Farmington's Teacher of the Year and inducted into the Farmington Teacher Hall of Fame, the Michigan High School Football and Baseball Halls of Fame. He retired from the classroom in 2002, but he continued coaching until 2007. In honor of his years of service, North Farmington High School constructed an entry plaza to the baseball-softball complex in his name to recognize his contributions and career. Irv and Barbara live in Chicago near their sons and grandchildren Logan and Ava, and spend time in Myrtle Beach, where Irv still enjoys high school sports and tries to figure out the game of golf. Many consider Edward Kozloff to be the father of modern distance running in Michigan. In 1972, Ed became an officer of the Motor City Striders, and then shortly after took over as the race director of the Detroit Marathon and president of the club. Ed has directed over 1,000 races, including the nationally ranked Motor City Marathon and founding member of the Detroit Free Press International Marathon. Under Ed's leadership, the Striders have raised over $40 million from their events, and the Striders have contributed to many local organizations. Ed was founder and race director of Michigan's first race for prostate cancer awareness and education, the nation's largest event for this cause, and spearheaded the Detroit Race for the Cure, Gilda's Club Walk, and the Detroit St. Patrick's Corktown races. He's been the Amateur Athletics Union Long Distance Running Chairman of the Year, the Road Runners Club of America Club President of the Year, and the Michigan Runner of the Year and Quarter Century. As an officer in the Striders, he has the longest tenure of a major club president in the United States. Harold Kutnick was born in Detroit and attended Central High School, where he played varsity basketball. Known for his spectacular long shots and fast breaks, Harold was a fiery captain and guard who scored 13 points per game. Harold continued playing at Wayne State University on a basketball scholarship, where he captained the team and graduated with a bachelor's degree in physical education. After graduation, he began a 36-year teaching career at Bagley Elementary School. Harold directed the land sports program at Camp Michigama and was part owner of the Thunderbird Country Day Camp. He also partnered in the Cincy Sachs Basketball Clinic, the first basketball clinic in Michigan. There, he operated as business manager and coordinated events that included games with the Detroit Pistons. Harold refereed and played basketball for the JCC, where he received league honors for Most Valuable Player. He also excelled in amateur and professional handball, winning the Detroit AAU City Doubles Championship and the Michigan Handball Association State Doubles Championship. He was so passionate and had such a love for sports that he was still playing energetically after 2 heart attacks and 2 bypass surgeries. Ultimately, this heart disease claimed his life while he was playing his final game of handball with his longtime friend and handball partner, Joel Tauber. Morton Levitsky played basketball and football while a student at Detroit Central High School and was a boxer during his college years at Wayne University. Mort began his involvement with young people in sports when he became a physical education teacher. After many years, he became an assistant principal and then principal in the Detroit Public Schools. Mort was a very well-respected high school basketball and football official. He and his officiating crew worked the annual football games, basketball state tournaments, and championship finals. Mort served as athletic director, waterfront director, and camp director at Camp Tamarack Fresh Air Camp from 1944 to 1966. Many people still remember Mort and have great stories to tell as they finally recall their gym teacher, school principal, and camp director. They never failed to mention what a positive influence Mort was on their lives. Congratulations to this year's Pillars of Excellence class of 2015. Stephen Bernstein, Robert Gershman, Irvin Horwitz, Edward Kozloff, Harold Kutnick, and Mort Levitsky.
Will the Pillars of Excellence, Stephen Bernstein, Robert Gershman, Edward Kozloff, Irvin Horwitz, Harold Kutnick, Mort Levitsky, their families, come to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, your Pillars of Excellence.
I'd like to thank the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame for this beautiful evening and the honor of being selected to receive the Pillars of Excellence Award. Growing up, I went to school in Detroit, and in the mid-1950s had a great elementary school gym teacher, Bill Dadarian, who told me I should go out for track at Cooley High School. I did, and then continued running at Wayne State and then local road races, and became an official in the Motor City Striders. As it mentioned in the video, I've been the race director of over 1,000 events, many of them notable. Now, this would have been impossible if it wasn't for the help of thousands of volunteers and sponsors. For this, a special thanks to some who are here tonight, and in fact in row E. We'll start with Brian Christie of Detroit's Race for the Cure, Mike Lutz of the Prostate Care Awareness Run, and this one held at the Detroit Zoo is the largest for prostate awareness care, whatever you may call it, in the world. Barb Benage and Bill Ewing of the Detroit Free Press Palmer Bank Marathon, which just finished on Sunday. Actually, these 3 races alone host over 60,000 runners and walkers in the Detroit area each year. Also, special volunteers, Carol DeWeese, Dewey Ames, Melissa Seligman, Amy Kessler, Jim Slowick, Walt and Ellen Nist. This list actually could be endless, but most of all, I'd like to thank my family, children Ron, Ken, Diana, and wife Sue, who have helped at hundreds of races themselves. This list could go on, but I know I shouldn't, so thank all of you for this award. It's deeply appreciated.
want to thank everyone for being here this evening. Congratulations to Karen Green Simon, friend of the family, for her induction tonight. Joel Tauber, who encouraged me to begin this journey, and Steve Friedman, whose father, Abby, was inducted last year and played with my dad at Wayne State. This has been an amazing journey. I learned so much about my dad's love of sports. I want to thank everybody for coming this evening to celebrate this great honor. Thank you.
There are many people in my life who have made this evening possible, but not enough time to mention them all. They know who they are because I have told them many times. I would like to recognize in particular my two boys, Jason and Mark, along with their wives, Carrie and Megan, and my two grandchildren, Logan and Ava. They make my life worth living. However, the person to whom I owe all these things I have accomplished in my life is my wife, Barbara. We have been married for 47 years, and during that time, she raised our children and supported me while I coached 4 sports a year. I love you, Barbara, and thank you so much for putting up with me all these years. Lastly, thanks to the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation for selecting me as a 2015 honoree for the Pillars of Excellence Award. Thank you.
On behalf of my wife Dottie and myself, my father's sister, Grace Brannon, Mort's grandchildren, David and Diane, and his great-grandchildren, Abigail and Charlotte, we all want to thank the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation for bestowing this honor on Mort Levitsky. My father's life revolved around children, where he was always a very positive influence, whether it was as a gym teacher at McCullough Elementary School, or as an elementary school principal, or during his many years as a high school basketball and football official, or during the summers at Camp Tamarack, also known as Fresh Air Camp. Recently at a local restaurant, when I handed my credit card to the waitress, an African-American woman slightly younger than myself, she said, "My principal at Cordis Elementary School in Detroit was Mr. Levitsky," to which I replied, "That was my late father." She then said, "Can I give you a hug? I loved your dad." Need I say more about my father's effect on children? Again, let me say on behalf of all Mort's family, thank you for this wonderful honor.
Hi, I'm Bob Gershman. I'd like to say good evening to everyone and wish all the best to everyone that's here tonight. I would like to congratulate all the inductees and thank the foundation for this spectacular special evening. I'm very grateful to be honored tonight, and I owe so much to so many people. First, my family. I want to thank my wife, Robin, for her unending love and support over 36 years of being married to me. My two girls, Julie and Lauren, and Aze and Jason, who have always been by my side with encouragement. And a special thank you to Steve Weingarten, my dear friend and Berkeley High tennis coach, for originally nominating me for this award. It's very difficult to say thank you because there are so many people that were special in my life, but I will mention that I had wonderful support from many different groups of people throughout my career. Many of you are here tonight, and I say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your wonderful friendship, your guidance, and your encouragement over the years. I was very fortunate to have made wonderful relationships in 35 years in the Berkeley School District. There were so many groups of different people, not only in my own building, but of our opponents and league members. My fellow athletic directors, coaches, administrators, teachers, officials, athletes, students and student bodies, the parents, the training staff, the team doctors, the medical staff. I just say thank you from the bottom of my heart for making my job so enjoyable and helping me to become the person that I am today. It was a great ride, and I wouldn't have traded it for anything in the world. This is a great honor that I will always cherish. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation for this honor, particularly my friend Howard Golding, who nominated me. Two great basketball coaches and great men had a great influence on my life. My cousin Alan Freund, Hava Shalom, and my de facto uncle, Will Robinson. I was very tempted to stand up here and be humble and say that I don't deserve this award, but there are too many guys in the audience that I played and coached and officiated with, and they're liable to start standing up and say, you know, he's right, what's he doing up there? So instead, I will accept this award very proudly and humbly, and I'll tell you that for a kid who grew up on the streets of Northwest Detroit in the 50s and 60s, to become a little part of sports history in our Jewish community, it means a lot. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Let's hear it one more time for your Pillars of Excellence. The Alvin Foon Humanitarian Award was established to honor the memory of one of the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation's founders and the driving force behind its creation. Alvin passed away in 1987, but the legacy he left is still supported by those who admired and cared about him. The foundation is very pleased that Alvin's wife, Shirley Foonwis, actively participates on the Board of Governors along with her son Ron, as well as Ron's wife being a wonderful volunteer at all events. The Alvin Foon Humanitarian Award is presented annually to an individual or individuals for outstanding contributions to athletics and community well-being in the state of Michigan and who exemplify the spirit, enthusiasm, and ideals of Alvin Foon. This award has an illustrious history of honorees, which is included on page 37 of tonight's program. Now, usually, when this award is presented, we just go to the video. But something special here tonight. Before we go to the video, I don't know, Arn, you know that the mayor of Detroit is Mike Duggan. Well, here in the Jewish community of Oakland County and others, there is another mayor, and that's Mayor Jeff Sakwa. Everybody who I know who knows Jeff Sakwa loves Jeff Sakwa for all he's done. And one of the things that he has done that I knew him for early on in my time here in Detroit is being a friend, not to everybody, but also of Vinnie Johnson. And to be quite honest, when I first met Jeff, and Danny Werner, who's not here either, I thought, God, who are these guys? They're like jock sniffers. They just hang around these guys all the time. But after about a year of figuring out that Jeff and Vinnie are brothers in the true meaning of the word brothers, they love each other. So, without any further ado, to introduce our Alvin Foon winner, the one, the only, Mayor of Oakland County, Jeff Sakwa.
Wow. Before I start tonight, Arn, Vinny's 6'2", not 6'1". Vinny has about 1,500 employees right now, and he doesn't want to take the pay cut and work for the Pistons. Sorry about that. So, this is a huge honor for me because Vinny truly is a brother to me. And when you have a great friend, you know, they're with you in times that are good and times that are bad. And I don't think anybody sitting here tonight hasn't had good times and hasn't had bad times. And being friends with the bad boys, I can tell you that guy sitting over there is not a good guy, he's a great guy. And when I hung around those guys, we're about the same age, Vinny's a little bit older, I learned from those guys. I was in my 20s. And what I learned was, we were 16 and 66, I'd ride the game with Vinny, and we're playing the Lakers, and they just won the world championship. I said, Vinny, we're gonna get our butts kicked tonight. He said, no, we're not, we're gonna win. And they did. When they lost a game, trust me, you don't want to be near any one of those guys today. And quite frankly, I think that's missing a lot in sports today, that these guys make a lot of money. It's just a sort of a country club type of existence. But Vinny has taken his attributes on the court, and Vinny, if anybody in this room knows him, probably most of you have met him, he's never turned down an autograph, turns down very few things. What I learned from him more than anything, you're probably going to not believe it's coming in my mouth, is humility. Because Vinny is so just a good guy. We call it a mensch, don't we? We call it a mensch. Vinny exemplifies the word mensch. Vinny is the godfather to my son Ian, who's not here tonight. He's at Michigan State University, and my daughter's sitting over there next to him. But if you ever want to see an African American turn red, when Vinny was at my son's bris, the rabbi told him he had to pay for his college education. And I never saw an African American turn red till that day, but you know what? He said he'd do it, but unfortunately things are going good for me so far. So I just want to say one more thing, because we are known as great Detroit sports fans. You have 4 gentlemen sitting here tonight that represent the Detroit Pistons, and no offense to the other teams, I don't see any of them sitting here tonight. It's our responsibility as a Jewish community to support these guys, not only when times are good, but when times are bad. That's what friends do. That's what good people do to support us. And yeah, I'm a big Spartan, but I want to tell you something. I'm a Michigan fan too. And you know what? We're all in this room. There's 65,000 Jews in this community right now. We're dwindling. And I believe in the word tikkun olam. For those who don't know what it means, we all do our part. These guys are doing their part. Vinny's doing his part. And we all can do our part, because when we get together, we don't do good things. We do great things. And I'm so proud to be a Jew in this community. I'm so proud to be Vinny's friend. And yes, I do believe I'm his brother. I'm so proud to be that little girl's father, and I'm so proud to be a part of Michigan in this community. And yeah, Mike Stone's friend too. So without further ado, let's roll the film. Go Pistons, Red Wings, Tigers, Spartans, Wolverines, and all the other universities. Thank you very much.
Alvin Foon was one of the driving forces behind the formation of the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame and worked tirelessly on its behalf. Vinnie Johnson was the unsung hero for the Detroit Pistons from 1981 to 1991. Perhaps no other player in Detroit sports history epitomizes the value of a sixth man better than Vinnie Johnson. Vinnie grew up in Brooklyn. Like well-known New York legends Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Billy Cunningham, a young Vinnie Johnson honed his skills on Brooklyn's famous street courts. After 2 years starring at McLennan Junior College, Johnson went to Baylor University and majored in physical education. As a senior, Vinnie was the Southwest Conference's leading scorer. During his 2-year stint at Baylor, Vinnie was named to the AP All-American second team twice and became Baylor's second all-time leading scorer. Vinnie left Baylor as one of the school's most prolific players. Drafted 7th overall in the first round by the Seattle Supersonics in the 1979 NBA draft, Vinnie joined a team that was fresh off winning its first NBA championship. He played in only 7 games with Seattle before being traded to Detroit for Greg Kelser on November 21st, 1981. In his inaugural season with the Pistons, he played in 67 games. During the 1980s, he was a key figure in the franchise's resurgence. Vinnie was an unsung hero during the original heyday of the Pistons, teaming up with Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars in the Pistons' vaunted 3-guard rotation. He scored points in spurts and heated up so quickly he earned the moniker The Microwave. Vinnie's shining moment with the Pistons came in the 1990 NBA Finals against Portland when he sank the winning shot with 0.7 seconds left in the game to clinch Detroit's second straight NBA title.
Isaiah watching that clock work down with 10. Isaiah's going to go one-on-one on Porter. Going to shake and bake. Right side pass to Vinnie Johnson with 3. DJ against Kersey. Vinnie puts up a 14-footer.
It's unbelievable, George, that shot. What guts? What guts? It's 92-90. The Microwave scores with 0.7 seconds left in the game.
Following his success with the Detroit Pistons, he established Piston Automotive in 1995 as a means of creating economic vitality, jobs, and opportunity in Detroit. The company quickly established itself as a supplier of choice for major international automotive companies, particularly Ford Motor Company and General Motors. Vinnie serves as the Piston Group's chairman and chief executive officer. Under his leadership, the Piston Group expanded from a single facility in Detroit to multiple locations across the Midwest, including Michigan, Ohio, Missouri, and Kentucky. In addition to his philanthropy and charity work, Johnson is a member of the Michigan Minority Business Development Council and the Detroit Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations to the 2015 Alvin Foon Humanitarian recipient, Vinnie Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff, for the kind words. Jeff is one of my best friends, him and Danny Warner. Appreciate it. Happy to be here. Just want to say a few words. The Jewish people have always been a part of my life. As a young man, I had a Jewish high school basketball coach who taught me way more than basketball. In college, my best friend was Martin Swartz. I've played for 2 Jewish owners in the NBA, Sam Schulman, and the greatest owner of all time, and fellow inductee Bill Davison. I've had the pleasure of living and being involved in the Jewish community since I got traded here, and have seen the good work that this community does for all people. Now that I'm done playing basketball, I have started my own company and have been able to give to those less fortunate. There's no place I would rather live or work than right here in Detroit. This is an honor because this represents good work in the community, and I'm humbled that my work has been noticed beyond my basketball abilities. Thank you. Or shalom.
Tonight's auction items, by the way, include a autographed Vinnie Johnson print, a suite to a Detroit Piston game, Red Wing tickets, and many signed items. So please stick and stay, have dessert, and bid on the auction after the evening's festivities. Hank Greenberg, William Davidson, Benny Friedman, and Harry Newman made up the first class of the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. And tonight, we celebrate the induction of 3 more into the Hall of Fame class of 2015, Mark Kahn, Dale Katz, and Karen Green Simon. Mark Kahn started with a tricycle, rode his bike to school, to sports events, and to deliver newspapers, enjoying the freedom and independence the bicycle provided. Let's take a look at Mark's accomplishments.
Mark Kahn rode in his first sanctioned bicycle race when he was 14 years old. The highlight of his first year of racing was winning the All-American Time Trial Championship. While living in the San Francisco Bay Area, Mark learned strategies and tactics and skills from Diablo Wheelman and the Peninsula Velo cycling clubs and rode to 4th place finish in the Junior National Time Trial Championships. Mark earned a degree in business administration from the University of California, Berkeley, and expanded his racing to events up and down the West Coast. After graduating, Mark progressed from regional races to national level races. He competed in the biggest multi-day event in the United States at the time, the 11-day Coors International Bicycle Classic in Colorado. Mark headed to Ghent, Belgium for 3 months of racing. Encouraged by his results in Belgium, Mark made plans to race with a French team for the following season and spent 9 months in northern France. Mark competed in national level events throughout the United States, qualifying for and competing in the Olympic trials in Spokane, Washington. When Mark moved to the Detroit area, he joined the Kaju Bicycle Club and is currently president of Team O2 Kaju Bicycle Club. He is also a proud member of Team Alex and enjoys being part of the strong cycling community in Southeast Michigan. Mark and his wife Marla have 2 college-age children, Andrew and Sarah. Mark has been fortunate to be able to pursue his passion with the support of his family, friends, cycling clubs, and sponsors, and he plans to keep pedaling. Congratulations, Mark Kahn. You are a 2015 Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame inductee.
Well, good evening. I'd like to begin by thanking the members of the foundation for this great honor, for the memorable evening, and for the charitable work that you do. And congratulations to all the honorees tonight on your accomplishments. I hope all the cyclists in the room are proud that bicycling is being recognized tonight. Thank you to my teammates in Team O2 Kaju Bicycle Club and Team Alex and my friends from the Wolverines and other clubs for the many great rides, the competition, and the friendships. As I was writing down my thoughts for tonight, I realized just how many people across the US, Belgium, and France helped me along the way and opened doors to opportunities. But none of this would have happened without the support of my family. When I graduated from college, I told my parents I wasn't going to get a real job because I wanted to find out what I was capable of achieving as a bicycle racer. And that would mean traveling throughout the US and then heading to Europe to challenge myself. Not exactly what a Jewish mother and father wanted to hear from their son. But I knew there would be few times in my life when I could truly put 100% into my sport, and I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to pursue my passion with my parents' support. When I came to Detroit in the 80s to start a career in technology, my plan was to return to San Francisco in 2 years. But I hadn't planned on meeting Marla. Of course, Marla certainly hadn't planned on living in a house with a garage full of bicycles worth more than the cars she drove. Thank you, Marla, for your love and support. Our kids, Andrew and Sarah, have endured my stories of bike races and the characters I've met along the way, and my fatherly chats with cycling as a metaphor for life's challenges. This is no doubt the reason they both decided to take up tennis. Thank you for listening, Andrew and Sarah, and I'm glad you have found your own sport to enjoy. Thank you to the members of my extended family, the B'nai Moshe family, and my friends here tonight for sharing this honor with me. When I started racing in the 70s, my heroes were the great Belgian bike racers of the era. 40 years later, my heroes are the 80-year-olds that are still active and riding their bikes. I plan to keep pedaling, and hopefully I'll be one of those old guys one day. Thank you.
Our next inductee was All-State, All-Area, All-League, Mr. Harrison, and I have to say, I first met him when he was a bouncer at Roosevelt's. That was after his illustrious career playing football at the University of Cincinnati. Here is a look at Dale Katz.
Dale Katz began playing football when he was 8 years old with the NFWB Vikings with his father as his youth football coach. While playing football for Farmington Harrison High School his senior year, he helped lead his football team to an undefeated season in the 1988 state championship as both an offensive tackle and defensive end. While in high school, Dale earned the title Mr. Harrison, the strongest student athlete, all-area first team, all-league first team, and McCabe's Fab 50. During his senior year of high school, Dale accepted a full-ride scholarship to the University of Cincinnati, where he attended from 1989 to 1993, lettering in football for 3 years. As a senior, he started at right offensive tackle. Dale is married to Stephanie and is the proud father of Connor, who plays lacrosse, and Grace, who participates in competitive dance. Congratulations, Dale Katz. You are a 2015 Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame inductee.
Good evening. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I want to give a special thanks to those who nominated and voted for me to become a member of the Distinguished Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. This is truly a great honor. I want to thank my parents for playing such a big part of my success in life, for getting me involved in sports at an early age, for making sure I was on time for all my practices and games. Now I know how difficult it was, as my wife and I are doing the same for our children now. I especially want to thank my father for all he has done for me. He devoted much of his time in life coaching my youth sports. He, along with the coaches I had, helped shape who I am today. My father was always there encouraging me to work harder and not give up. He is a hard act to follow. Thank you, Dad. My experience playing football at the University of Cincinnati was a time I'll never forget. It was memorable being coached and played with guys that went on to have successful careers in the NFL. I have some great memories on and off the field, and it was something on the weekends. It was I think about it all the time. Thank you all for coming tonight, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Karen Green Simon picked up the sport of racquetball at the age of 34, and 2 weeks ago won the U.S. Open. Let's take a look at Hall of Fame inductee Karen Green Simon.
Karen Green Simon always loved sports. It was not until graduating from the University of Michigan in 1976 that Karen tried racquetball. She played at the JCC and then at Franklin Athletic Club. While at the Franklin Athletic Club, Karen met Moses Nicholson, who became her coach, mentor, and friend for the next 26 years. Presently, Karen plays competitively in the open level age division. She holds 1 international masters title, 2 national senior games titles, 1 Huntsman World Senior Games title, 4 state championship titles in Michigan, and a regional championship title. Karen also finished runner-up in the Women's Open in Michigan and has won a silver medal at the U.S. Open in 2006 and bronze medal in 2012. Karen is sponsored by Echelon Racquetball. She coached racquetball at the Maccabi Games in Detroit with Marvin Sonny in 1998. When she retired from a career as a middle school teacher, counselor, assistant principal, and principal, Karen became the racquetball and squash director at Franklin Athletic Club from 2001 to 2006. After attending the U.S. Open in 2006, she was introduced to Phil Simon, and they married a year later. Karen continues to compete in New York and Florida, where she and Phil spend their winters. In Florida, she holds 6 state titles. Additionally, she has won the Empire State Senior Games title 6 times. Congratulations, Karen Green Simon. You are a 2015 Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame inductee.
I don't know if they saved the best for last, but they definitely saved the shortest for last. I would like to thank the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation for this incredible honor. I am humbled and overwhelmed to be joining such an elite group of individuals. I would also like to thank Howard Golding and Howard Stone for nominating me. I've known Howard Golding for 35 years. We were colleagues in the Oak Park School District and dear friends ever since. I've known Howard Stone for 55 years. He is also a dear friend, my former junior high school gym teacher, and later also a colleague in the Oak Park schools. Howard encouraged me to try various sports throughout junior high school. In high school, I finally got up the nerve and went out for the track team. I lasted exactly 1 day. Why, you might be thinking? I was assigned to the hurdles. That was the extent of my competitive athletic career until I was 34 years old. I am going to keep my speech on the short side. Someone 4'9" tall has no other option. When people ask me what division I play in, I often say that I'm in the 5 foot and under division. I want to give an immense amount of credit for being comfortable with my petite stature, being able to kibitz about it, and having so much self-confidence to my beloved coach, mentor, and friend, Moses Nicholson of blessed memory. I would not be receiving this honor if Moses had not approached me at age 34 and encouraged me to play competitive racquetball. One of his 10 commandments of racquetball is that everyone has their own uniqueness. Moses taught me to capitalize on my uniqueness, and I did. I won my first national title in the age open division at age 54. And as they announced tonight, 2 Sundays ago, I just won the US Open in the 60s, my 5th national and international title, bringing my ranking in the United States to number 6 in the country in my age division. Thank you. Moses gave me the mental and physical training to succeed, not just in racquetball, but in my personal and professional life as well. I would like to acknowledge and thank Moses' wife, Mary, and their 2 sons, David and Doug, who are here this evening. Doug actually traveled all the way from Seattle to be here. I would like to mention my parents, Lorraine Green and Max Green, of blessed memory, who were always so supportive of me. Fortunately, they both were able to see me play in my very early stages of competition. I'd like to think they are both kvelling from heaven. Traveling to different places and meeting different people has been one of the best things about competing in the sport I love. In 2006, my friend Andy Glansberg, of blessed memory, introduced me to my wonderful husband, Phil. I'm not only a late bloomer in my athletic pursuits. I did not get my Mrs. degree until I was 51 years old. But my husband, Phil, was totally worth the wait. Were it not for Moses encouraging me to step out of my comfort zone, we would not have met. We celebrated our 8th anniversary in July. Thank you. I would like to thank my entire family and all my friends, including my friends from Franklin Athletic Club, for their never-ending support, and also thank those that could not be here this evening, but who have always encouraged me. I would also like to acknowledge Coach Jim Winterton, the current coach of the #1 male professional racquetball player in the world, who took me under his wing in Central New York and helped me take my game to yet another level. I would like to conclude with a quote that is applicable to everyone. My cousin, Jeffrey Cerno, passed away in March of this year. Many of you knew him. He was an avid cyclist, mountain climber, sports enthusiast, and philanthropist. He always encouraged and motivated me. He was noted for saying, "What are you waiting for?" So I would like to encourage everyone to do the things they only think about doing and actually do them. Thank you again for this incredible honor. This is one of the most memorable and meaningful days of my life. Thank you.
I just want to say a couple more words before we end the program. I definitely want to encourage everyone to use the silent auction. It's a lot of cool things out there, and it goes to the foundation. I'd like to also just recognize at this time many thanks to Sari Chickerell, our Director of Community Relations.
Yeah.
She's worked extremely hard planning this and just done a tremendous job in making this so successful tonight. Also, Brian Masserman, our photographer, working tonight. We appreciate Brian and his time. Thank you again. One more thing, I encourage everyone to go to the Hall of Fame before you leave and see the exhibit of the Pillars of Excellence. It really looks cool. And one more thing about it, we have a donation that was received a few days ago from Andrew Heyman and the Heyman family. It's a unique baseball sculpture by artist David Dowdy, and we want to thank them a lot for their generous donation. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, David. And on behalf of the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation, thanks everybody for coming to tonight's celebration of the achievements of all our distinguished honorees. I'd like to welcome Arn again into the community here. We hope to see you in the spring at the 26th Annual Hank Greenberg Memorial Golf Invitational, June 13th at Franklin Hills Country Club. Don't forget dessert, silent auction, and see you on the radio tomorrow, 6 a.m., 97.1. See you again here next year.